Welcome, everybody. My name is Gneuss. I'm the Chief Digital Officer at Movinga, and I will give you a little update on our past and present performance, and then we take a look what becomes beyond that. So we're here for everybody who does not yet know Movinga. We're here to revolutionize the 150 billion moving market. How do we want to do that? So we are one of the first which create the global one-stop brand for moving items. We are vertically integrated and asset light. We have a technology-driven approach, and we care about our customer experience to make it unique and convenient. So if you look at the industry, we think it's absolutely broken. So there are problems on the partner side, and there are problems on the customer side. On the partner side, the industry is facing kind of that 95% of all the companies are very locally, very fragmented, so they have no chance to really use a network effect kind of, since they don't do acquisition or dispatching nationwide. We have a non-digital business, so main competitors of us, they are traditional moving companies, so they still think a fax is the way to communicate and exchange data. And there's no consistency in the service quality. That means there are some partners which are really good and really taking care of what they're doing, but on the other side, you also see partners which are more on the shady side, which don't do a professional business. For the customer, booking a move is still a hassle. So yes, they search online, but if you have to work and do your offer with a traditional business, then all of this will be handled manually and via phone. There's a big lack of trust in a brand, and I think that's a huge potential for us. So if you think of what is the best moving company you can think of, very few of you will have a best moving company. A lot of you will not even know one name of a moving company, and even not the one which you used to move the last time. So we want to step in and bring this basically into your mind. We want to be the brand which you are facing. And for the customer, it's also the last point here, at least, is the non-transparent pricing. So for a move which is same configuration, you can get an offer for 700 euro, and with the same thing, an offer for 2,500 euro. Both are wrong. Take us, we are in the middle, and we are having the best service between all of them. Then vertically integrated. That means if you look on top, that's a traditional moving industry company. They try to do the whole value chain from beginning to the end. But as you can imagine, the traditional moving company, they don't have experts in marketing, they don't have tech experts, they don't have AI expert or machine learning expert. So we think it's way better if the moving company, that's the line below, they concentrate on the execution. That's where they are best, that's where their profession is. And we take care of the rest of all the acquisition and dispatching and after sales services. So now a little business update. Let me first show you some key achievements of 2018 and 2019, and then we have even a live graph here. So 2018, we became the biggest online removal company. We increased our net revenue by 75%. We acquired Move24, a direct competitor also originating here from Berlin, and we acquired L'Officiel de Déménagement, a bit more traditional but profitable business in France. With that, we also were able to launch Sweden successfully, and it's one of our best profitable markets. In 2019, we already identified the synergies between L'Officiel and Movinga. So we can leverage their traditional long-term knowledge of how they did business in the past, and we can bring it over all the learnings to our digital business. Then we successfully launched Movinga Now. We will see it later once more. Going forward, we want to reach profitability in summer. We want to launch Switzerland this year, and we want to achieve 52 million revenue end of the year. So here you see basically how this all happened from 2017 to the end of 2019. As you can see, we have clearly waves in our growth. So we have a high peak in the summer, and we have some lows in the winter. And we try that at the end of the year, our base revenue is a traditional resistance and is over the last peak from the summer. How can we grow beyond that? So what's coming next? So we want to extend our service coverage. One typical thing is, yes, we look at other markets. So we grow in our existing markets, which are currently Germany, France, and Sweden. Then, as mentioned, we will launch Switzerland this year, potentially Austria, depending on how the year goes. And then in the future, very interesting markets, at least for us in our business case, is the Scandinavian markets and the Benelux markets. If we look at the business models, so our core is B2C, that's where we make most of our revenues, but we see a high trend into the B2B2C market. So we have companies coming to us, they want to have a cooperation so they can have a dedicated relocation service for their employees. So if you have any demands, feel free to contact us. And this business model is nice since it gives us a kind of a really nice repeat rate, which we don't have on the normal customer side since people are not moving every week, unfortunately. And then we look at other services. So what are other user segments? What are needs which we currently don't yet serve or which are complementary to our classical business? So we launched Movinga Now, which is in the end an urban transportation service. So you go online, get the app, and book a move like you would book an Uber or a taxi. So you select how much helpers do you want, which size of a truck do you want, and how much time do you want. So it's super transparent, fully digital. And our Net Promoter Score is currently at 79. So it's really decent service here. At the last part, I want to say we at Movinga, we embrace technology. So if you look at our normal tech stack, we use all the tools, which most of you will say, okay, that's not super special. We see with all the other startups, they are also doing it. But you have to remind yourself that our traditional competitors, for them, this stuff is alien. That's not what they can deal with. They don't have the skills or the capabilities to invest in technologies like that. If we look further down the road on our tech radar, so yes, we are using machine learning, AI. Next steps will be we are playing with image recognition, augmented reality to ease up the gathering of the moving items. And then last, yes, we're super hyped if this autonomous vehicle stuff is really happening. I think last month or a month before, DB Schenker in Sweden already got the license that they can move this vehicle on their own on the streets. And for us, it would be major game changing, since currently we have to pay the helpers, which are driving with the truck driver for 8 hours. So we're paying people for looking out of the window. And if those cars and trucks can move all of themselves, we can debundle the services, which then makes it way cost efficient for us and for the customer. And last, the virtual assistant. So virtual assistant for us is the vision of, imagine you want to have a moving quote, and you pop up your augmented reality glass or phone, then there pops up our avatar, which is helping you, discussing, negotiating, and clearing all the fine nitty-gritty details of your relocation. You can walk with the avatar through the room, get the IOI, the inventory, kind of in an augmented reality image recognition process. You can select it with them. So I think that's a very, very sexy future, which we look at, and I hope it comes true. At the end, I want to leave you with not really. I want to leave you with the main KPIs we achieved so far. And as you see, not only Ralph is super happy, but also we at Movinga are really happy that we achieved it. And the team's working day to day very hard to move on with this project. So thank you once more. If you have any questions, catch me off stage or send me a link. Bye.